In ancient Japan, a general of great renown was invited to a tea ceremony by a famous master. The general, a rugged man forged in 1,000 battles, made a clumsy mistake. As he picked up the delicate ceramic bowl, it slipped from his hands and shattered against the floor. A deathly silence flooded the room. The other guests stood frozen, for the general's humiliation was total. He had destroyed an invaluable relic out of pure clumsiness. But before the general could apologize or die of shame, the tea master let out a light half and smashed his own bowl against the floor. "My!" exclaimed the master. "It seems that today the air is so charged with energy that even porcelain cannot resist it. I always wanted to know what sound this piece made when it broke. Thank you, General, for giving me the pretext." That night, the master confessed to his disciple, "My heart weeps for that cup. It was my most precious treasure, but my face had to smile, because the honor of my guest and the peace of this room are worth much more than any object made of clay." I have a question for you. Who are you when no one is watching? You have one face for your boss, another for your friends, a filtered version for your social media, and a deathly silence for your own fears. You are so used to projecting what the world expects of you that sometimes, when you are alone, it isn't clear which part of that is truly yours. Today, we are going to explore the labyrinth of the two faces. We will understand why social hypocrisy is, in fact, an act of compassion, and how you can prevent your facade from eventually suffocating your truth. Get ready to discover that freedom is not living without masks, but being the master of what you show and the guardian of who you are. For the Japanese, reality is not a straight line, but a structure of layers. Tatemae literally translates as the facade, or what is built in front of. It is the public face. It is the kind words you say so as not to hurt someone's feelings, the correct behavior in a meeting, the "I'm fine" you reply when you are actually broken. Tatemae is not a lie. It is the oil that allows the gears of society to turn without screeching. Honne, on the other hand, is the sound of the heart. It is your true desires, your dark ambitions, your forbidden love, your contained rage. It is the root of your existence. The problem in the West is that we have become obsessed with total authenticity. We are told we must be the same everywhere, that Tatemae is hypocrisy, and that Honne is the only truth. But imagine a world where everyone spoke their raw Honne all the time. The chaos would be absolute. Tatemae is the sacrifice of your ego in favor of collective harmony. It is understanding that sometimes your sincere opinion is less important than the piece of the table at which you are sitting. Why did Japan perfect this two-faced system? Because of a concept called wa, harmony. In an overpopulated and mountainous island where survival depended on perfect cooperation in the rice fields, individual conflict was a luxury that no one could afford. The group is always more important than the individual. That is why Tatemae became a survival tool. If your neighbor bothers you, you don't shout at them. You smile and use Tatemae to maintain the peace while keeping your Honne in a safe place. This creates a society of exquisite politeness, amazing safety, and millimetric order. But the price of wa is very high. When the facade is too rigid, the individual begins to disappear. Many young people in Japan, and increasingly throughout the world, suffer from what they call the permanent social mask. They feel they have no place to express their true self, and that contained silence ends up exploding in the form of anxiety, depression, or isolation. Tatemae is armor that protects you from the world, but if you never take it off, the armor becomes your coffin. To navigate this labyrinth without losing your sanity, the Japanese divide the world into two circles, the uchi inside, and the Soto, outside. The Soto is the outside world, work, strangers. Here, Tatemae is king. Here, you are not expected to be yourself, you are expected to be a functional citizen. The Uchi is your inner circle, your family, your childhood friends. This is where Honne is allowed to breathe. It is the refuge where you can drop your shoulders and tell the truth. The error of our digital age is that we have blurred the boundary between the Uchi and the Soto. We post our most intimate Honne on social media in front of thousands of strangers, and then we are surprised when the world judges and hurts us. We are exposing our soft skin to an environment designed for armor.
Learning the wisdom of Tatemae is learning to protect your Honne. Your truth is not for everyone. Your heart should not be a public park. Reserving your real face for those who have truly earned the right to see it is an act of self-love and emotional intelligence. As the tea master said in the opening story, the danger is not using politeness, but becoming a static photograph that forgets how to feel. Many of us have forgotten that Tatemae is a role, not an identity. If you are the perfect son, the star employee, or the always positive person, and you attach yourself so much to that image that you begin to deny your real feelings, you are in trouble.
Ignored Honne does not disappear. It rots. It turns into resentment, somatic illnesses, or inexplicable outbursts of rage. The art of living between two faces consists of maintaining a constant dialogue between them. You have to be able to tell your Honne, I hear you. I know you're angry. I know you're sad. But right now, in this meeting, we are going to use Tatemae because it is the wisest thing to do. I promise that when we get home, I will give you the space you need. Mental health is the flexibility to move between what you show and what you are, without the link breaking.
There is a secret beauty in Tatemae that we often ignore. By not being totally direct, we create a space of respect. In the West, we are sometimes sincere in an aggressive way. I'm telling you the truth for your own good, we say, before launching a poisoned dart. Japanese thought sees that as a lack of elegance. Tatemae allows the other to maintain their dignity. If you reject an invitation by saying you have a prior engagement, instead of saying, I don't feel like seeing you, you are protecting the other's ego. This safety distance prevents souls from clashing head-on. Tatemae is the politeness of the heart. It is recognizing that the raw truth is often too heavy to be carried by others without preparation. To be elegant is to know when to keep the truth silent, so as not to destroy harmony, as long as you are not lying to yourself in the process.
How can we, in the midst of this society of digital masks, listen to the sound of our heart again? First, seek a sanctuary. Find a physical place or a time of day where Tatemae is strictly prohibited. It could be a journal, a therapy session, or a solo walk. A place where you can say the most horrible, saddest, or most ambitious things without judging yourself. Second, observe your friction. Every time you feel a sting of irritation while smiling at work, take note of it. That is your Honne trying to communicate through the mask. Do not ignore it. Listen to it as if it were a frightened child. And third, choose your Uchi. Not everyone deserves to see your Honne. Carefully select 2 or 3 people with whom you can be brutally honest. These bonds are what will prevent you from becoming a social ghost.
Do not feel bad for having 2 faces. Do not feel like a hypocrite for smiling when you want to cry. You are protecting your peace and that of others. But always remember the tea master's warning. The facade is to protect the harmony of the world. The real face is to feed the flame of the soul. If you spend your whole life being only your Tatemae, you will have been a perfect actor in an empty play. If you try to be only your Honne, you will be a hurricane that will destroy everything in its path.
Wisdom consists in knowing when to break your own cup so that another does not feel ashamed, in knowing that you can show calm while your heart beats strongly, in being strong enough to sustain the harmony of the group, and brave enough to never forget who you are when you turn off the light.
Tell me in the comments, what is that part of your Honne that you have been hiding for a long time, and that today you give yourself permission to recognize, at least to yourself? You are much more than what the world sees. Do not get lost in your own reflection. Thank you for allowing yourself to listen to this reflection. Subscribe if you are looking for a space where we can take off the masks together and talk about what really matters. Until next time.